Into our newsroom this evening after thick black smoke poured off the roof of Sam's Club in Midland. Tonight we've learned a fire sparked up on the roof. A small smoke call came out around 6:30. Fire investigators still aren't sure what sparked the blaze, but say the store was having repairs on the roof directly above the tire sales area. Once the fire started, the entire store was quickly evacuated and everyone made it out safely. 10 fire units responded, but it took some time to get the blaze completely out. Even though it looked fierce, we're told the damage looks like it was only affecting one area of the store. Fire investigators say with all the heavy smoke, things looked a lot worse than they actually were.
The type of combustibles that are up there produce a lot of black smoke. They're petroleum-based, asphalts, tars, you know, just typical roofing material. And when this stuff burns, it gives off heavy black smoke, which is very common. I think the fire damage that I can tell right now by talking to the firefighters is limited to one area. There is some water damage on the inside of the structure.
Fire crews tell us Partners Commercial Roofing out of Houston is the company doing the repairs. They were interviewed earlier. Fire crews tell us the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Tune in to News West 9 Sunrise for the very latest. Also new at 10, a victim ambushed inside a West Odessa fast food restaurant. It happened around 7:30 at the Burger King on West County Road in West Odessa. Odessa police tell us 6 men attacked one person inside of the restaurant with a knife. After the attack, the group took off before police could get to the scene. The victim was taken to the hospital in unknown condition. Authorities tell us this case is still under investigation. Stay tuned to News West 9. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you the latest as it becomes available. Well, new details on a mobile home scam in Midland. A family who bought one of those trailers from a group of swindlers has now been told to get out. They're being evicted by the real owners of the mobile home. Sarah Snyder joins us with the latest. Sarah?
Well, Crystal, tonight we know at least one Midland family is being evicted. They bought a home from a company called Sun Valley Affordable Homes, a company that's being investigated for fraud. Turns out the home the family bought was not free to sell. The people who claim to be the real owners came tonight to take their property back. They filed the papers to put an eviction notice on the door. News West 9 tried to talk to the family, but they weren't around. However, we had the chance to talk to the rightful owners, who say they were victims too. They claim to have cut a deal with Charles Gilmore, who's been arrested for this scam. They say Gilmore promised to rent their home out, but instead sold it right out from underneath them.
A year later, and eviction notices and writ of possessions and everything else. Now these good people are out of a home. You know, we were out of ours for over a year with no money, no nothing. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And
you know, we were both out, like, you know, $8,000 to $10,000 worth of materials that we sunk into this thing, you know.
Now, just a few weeks ago, Midland County deputies arrested 62-year-old Larry Spence and his suspected partners, 69-year-old Charles Sprayberry and 43-year-old Charles Gilmore. They're charged with fraudulent sale of manufactured homes. Police say the group intimidated and threatened their customers to get money from them after their bogus business was discovered. According to investigators, the homes were worthless and unlivable to begin with. News West 9 received calls about other victims being evicted. We'll continue to investigate. Meanwhile, if you had any dealings with Sun Valley Affordable Homes and feel you may have been a victim, call the police. Live in the studio, Sarah Snyder, News West 9.
We also have new information on the sex scandal involving the West Texas State School in Pyote. A civil rights group says it's high time a former principal from there goes to trial. The Texas Civil Rights Project out of Austin is representing one of the 4 teenaged victims. They're calling for a trial date to be set for John Paul Hernandez. The former principal is accused of sexually abusing students at the TYC jail in Pyote. The Texas Rangers started their investigation back in 2005. It's been 3 years and still no trial date has been set. They say the time for justice is now, and a speedy trial will send a message to TYC employees that abuse will not be tolerated. The West Texas State School in Pyote has since been shut down by the state. It's a he said, she said battle between waste control specialists in Andrews and the Austin-based Seed Coalition. It all centers over a bond election in Andrews County to help build a low-level radioactive waste site. WCS claims the State Ethics Commission found the coalition tried to hide its involvement with a campaign called No Bonds for Billionaires, which was against the bond last year. And the group's director, Karen Haddon, was fined for violating campaign election laws. WCS says Haddon tried to make No Bonds for Billionaires look like it was out of Andrews when it was actually being funded in Austin. Seed Coalition Director Karen Haddon disputes that. She says the only issue the state had was whether her organization accepted donations of more than $500 before a treasurer was appointed. They paid a fine and did not admit to any wrongdoing, so they could just move on. A cigarette lighter in the hands of children sparked up a house fire in South Odessa this afternoon. The blaze started just before 2 at this home on South Carpenter. Firefighters say the fire started in a bedroom. 4 units from the city responded. They put out the flames pretty quickly, but not before the bedroom was destroyed. The rest of the home suffered minor smoke and water damage. The mother suffered some burns to her arms trying to put out the flames. No one else was injured. He threw in the towel before his term was up. The outgoing Presidio County Judge, Jerry Agan, resigned. He was supposed to stay in office until January after being beat in the May election by Paul Hunt. Hunt is now serving as interim county judge. He'll officially take over September 1st. A woman who answered the phone at the Presidio County Judge's office told us Agan gave no reason for leaving early.
And we are looking at things quieting down thunderstorm-wise across West Texas and southeast New Mexico. Storm Tracker 9 Precision Sky Tracker showing the all clear this evening across West Texas. Taking a look at the maps, temperatures trying to cool off a little bit. Still the upper 80s to low 90s. As we look at the maps now and show you what's going on, we are seeing those scattered showers and thunderstorms again coming to an end. Temperatures are cooling off. Let's switch over to the maps very quickly and show you what's going on there as we're seeing the upper 80s to low 90s. Down to about 72 on the overnight low with a few high clouds. For tomorrow, though, it looks hot, and that will be the trend into the weekend. We'll talk more about that and show you a few changes with another cool front in your exclusive Storm Tracker 9-day forecast coming up here a little later.
Thanks, Tom. Some phone lines in Big Spring will be dead, but just for a short time. Starting at noon tomorrow, the phone lines will be down at the Big Spring City Hall and the Big Spring Police Department. Officials say it won't last longer than 15 minutes. If you need any emergency assistance, call 911. It's time for the Spin Zone when News West 9 and Odessa Crime Stoppers give you a chance to cash in on a criminal. Tonight we spun the wheel and it landed on 38-year-old Ray Castaneda Sanchez. He's wanted for giving out a fake name. Your tip that catches him could earn you a $200 reward. Just call Odessa Crime Stoppers at 333-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. An increase in sales tax revenues means the economy is on the mend. The city of Odessa's check from August, a little more than $2.5 million. It's about 25% higher than last year. That means more people are out spending cash, and some of the money is going into the city coffers to help run the town.
We did some adjustments at the beginning of the fiscal year on the expenditure side, saying we're going to hold down expenditures until this thing stays out or turns around, and now we're beginning to see that turnaround. So it's very good news for the city.
Sales tax revenue is also important to potential businesses. They look at those numbers when they're considering places to set up shop. More money could be coming to the basin to promote green economic development opportunities. The Economic Development Administration awarded more than $500,000 for a statewide education program. Their goal is to raise awareness about green development and the creation of jobs among small businesses. Sometime next year, the state will announce where the cash will go. One Midland group's looking to a higher power to help house the homeless. Midland Family Promise has 8 churches that help shelter families who don't have a place to stay, but they're hoping 5 more churches will step up. The group also needs more volunteers. Family Promise tells us the homeless situation is an ongoing problem in our area.
I believe in 2009, MISD recognized over 900 homeless students, and this past spring they recognized 1,200. So that shows an increase there, and you've got to think that those children, those school-aged kids, are attached to families.
Family Promise is different because it doesn't separate families. They house them together. West Texas bikers are going hog wild for some less fortunate school kids. Bikers Against Domestic Violence have set up a donation box at the Starbucks on 42nd Street in Odessa for a school supply drive. They're asking for supplies for all grade levels. The items will be given to kids from Angel House and the Crisis Center. The drive lasts until September 8th. A suspected serial stabber stopped in his tracks. He was on his way out of the country. We'll tell you why his capture has people in 3 states resting easy tonight. And the flight attendant some are calling a hero speaks out. We'll tell you what he says about the reaction to his tirade on a JetBlue flight. You're watching News West 9 at 10. More West Texas news more often.